How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Good to see you, man.
Same. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Welcome to episode 189 of the Ballistic. I'm here with Isaiah Paddock from Mississippi Valley State University, and I'm excited to have him on to talk about his story of how he got to where he is today and much more. So, welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, so how did your recruiting process start?
So, out of high school, I had a really good senior season, and I had gone to Abilene Christian University. I had an offer from Southern Methodist University, but because of COVID, kind of lost the offer and went D1 out of high school. Didn't turn out so good and went JUCO, and JUCO was the best thing for me. I was really able to come into my own at junior college, and I excelled on the field and off the field. Got my GPA up really good, and recruiting was pretty smooth after JUCO. I'm not gonna lie, and it's even better nowadays the way they recruit these junior college guys and D2 guys. Even I just had a former teammate at Valley who had gone to NAIA. He was one of the most impactful players on our team. So you can make it out of any division this day and age, and I'm blessed I was able to do it when I did, and so yeah, recruiting has always gone good for me in my college career. I've been at some good spots.
How did your football experience go in high school?
My football experience in high school was it was amazing because I played for Highland Park in Dallas, Texas. Highland Park is the winningest Texas high school football program, and it's a legendary coach. Coach Randy Allen is the head coach there. And he was a coach for Matthew Stafford when he was in high school, and all these great guys coming up. A lot of guys playing currently and have played, and he's done some tremendous things for that program, and I'm just so blessed to have lived in such a decent neighborhood, a wonderful neighborhood that I could play for that program, and it really shaped who I have been in my college career. I'm a yes sir, no sir guy, and you know, I like organization, and I know what a good team's supposed to look like, and I've always appreciated that because in my college career I didn't always play for the best teams or winning teams. I mean, but I was I won a lot of games in high school, and I know what it's supposed to look like, and that was a blessing for sure.
Uh, Tell me a little about growing up in your hometown and what had what you went through to get to where you are today.
Man, so a lot of sacrifices, I'd say. Um, my mother and father both worked two, three jobs at once to pay for rent. We don't own a home, and rent nowadays, and it's been very expensive. So it's been tough, and especially where I live, where so I live in a good neighborhood. There's a lot of people that got good money over here and living very comfortably. And it was pretty hard for me growing up because it always felt like I had nothing. And then also being one of the few minorities in the neighborhood, it's always been kind of a struggle. And I didn't really come into my own until I found sports, and that really is where I found my home. And I didn't start making friends until I started playing football and wrestling and all that stuff and excelling in athletics. But I always look back at how grateful I am, my father and my mother, of putting their head down and grinding. And I feel like they instilled that work ethic in me at a young age, and I really appreciated that because it really showed me the man I wanted to be. And but yeah, it was tough. It was we was skating by a lot of the time, just barely skating by, just barely surviving, really. And what's crazy is you would never know it by how I held myself in public, and and how we were in the community. My father always said we infiltrated the white man's education, and we implemented ourselves into their community, and took all the benefits. And one of those benefits is going to a wonderful high school that we did, and being a part of an amazing football program at Allen Park. It's all just been a blessing, and my life's definitely been a journey in that way. And I always think back about all the hard times, but my father never let me miss a meal. I always had 3 meals a day. I didn't start missing meals till I went to junior college. But yeah, it was good. We didn't have everything, but what we didn't have, we made up for in love. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. And I'm thankful for the support system I have around me, with that being my immediate family, and then also my grandmother, and yeah, just my extended family always supporting me in my dream.
Hmm. What is your biggest strength and weakness on the football field?
I'd say my biggest strength is my effort. You know, I'm not always the biggest guy on the field. I'm not always the fastest guy on the field, but every snap I come off the ball like it was the first snap of the game. And I just remember this whole past season at Mississippi Valley, I'd have so many players be like, "Man, look at the scoreboard. Like y'all are losing terribly. Like, why are you playing so hard? You playing like y'all doing something." And every play, I'm just going crazy, and hitting them like I was hitting them on the first play. Like I wasn't even tired. Like the wins and losses don't really get to me. I'm out there for a different reason. I have my own reasons being on that field, and I always feel like that was my strength, is just being hungry when the ball snapped. In between the snap of the ball, I'm always hungry for the next play, and I think that's my biggest strength. In terms of weaknesses, man, I know I have weaknesses, but I couldn't tell you one because I don't like to dwell on the negative. I like to think on what I can improve on for sure, and I'm always asking questions, and I'm always trying to better myself. One weakness I can maybe think of is at Highland Park. We were taught to, if you make a big giant play, it's you don't celebrate. It's on to the next play. And I say that's a weakness because I would remember sometimes in practice and games where guys would be making big giant plays, hooping and hollering, and that brings a lot of eyes to you. It brings a lot of attention to you. And it used to be looked down upon celebrating like that, but now I feel like um, people it like that. That's part of the entertainment of being a sports playing sports. They like the
Hmm.
entertaining aspect of sports. So I'd say it's a weakness because I'd make some crazy plays, and I wouldn't say nothing. I ain't talking no noise. I'm like, all right, line back up, let's go again. But if I was up there jumping up and down, like, let's go, like you see me, y'all see me, like I feel like I would get a little more attention. And sometimes in this day and age, you need the attention. You need people to look at you and be like, hey, that's that guy. That he's him right there. And there's a balance of everything. So I don't know how much I'm gonna. It's like it's ingrained in me to go, hey, next play, next play. Like I would make
Hmm.
a big old sack, drive winning sack, and just line back up and be like, hey, it was nothing. Like let's go. And in my head, I'm like, man, that was awesome. Like I'm pumped. Like testosterone, what's it called, is going crazy. But like it's always just next play, and I might let my excitement out. Here as I become a pro, and more people are watching on TV, and yeah, I might try and make it a little more entertaining. You don't got to be a soldier on the field all the time, but there's definitely a balance to it for sure.
Hmm. Uh, how how did this past season go for you guys?
So in terms of wins and losses, it didn't go quite as we planned, but Coach Terrell Buckley, our head coach at Mississippi Valley, is doing some amazing things on and off the field for us, and I'm excited for those guys coming in and being a part of that program. and just keep on putting on from Mississippi Valley. Like it's hard to say, but we're one of the little guys. It's already a D1 HBCU, and when you've had such a unsuccessful past as Mississippi Valley has had, it's hard to get some excitement over there. But Terrell Buckley's really turning it around. Coach Buckley's an amazing guy. He really cares about the players and their needs, and he wants to bring all the resources that they need over there to that next season it'll be a good season. And I really feel like he's the guy to change it over there. And I'm just really blessed to have been a part of it while I was a part of it. And I also have an opportunity to go back during the off season and be a grad assistant coach, which I think is an amazing opportunity to be playing pro football and then working within a coaching staff in the off season and just being around football and learning the game, being a student of the game is just going to make me a better player at the end of the day. And I'm thankful for Coach Buckley for that opportunity as well. I appreciate that he saw something in me to keep me around, not just as a player, but as a person. He saw me as a good person to be on the team, whether I'm in the pads or not. And he knows that I can do some good for that program on and off the field. So I'm glad for that opportunity, and forever grateful to Coach Buckley and the opportunity he took on me.
What are some cool things to know about yourself outside of football?
Um, well, I'm born and raised in Dallas, Texas. My father's mixed black and German, and my mother's Mexican. So there's a lot of ethnic diversity there and racial diversity there. And I like my dad used to say I'm the bridge between gaps. You can't be racist when you're
Mhm.
everything. You can't you got to be the healer, the guy bringing people together. So I always felt that when I interact with people, I feel like I was blessed with the ability to talk to anybody. Whatever the social class, whatever it is, I can go up to the millionaires in Highland Park, Texas, and shake their hand and talk to them in a very see, I can't even think of the word, but I could talk to them in a very good way, good with my words, being very articulate with my words, and then I can talk to
Mhm.
someone that's had nothing, someone that's grew up with nothing, coming from the bottom, and relate to both parties. Being able to relate to anybody is a blessing, and so I'd like to say that about myself to be true. And then on top of that, as I train MMA, Muay Thai, and Jiu Jitsu. I've been training since I was about 12 years old. And after football, if I still physically able, I'd love to get in that octagon and show my talents in there. And while I'm still playing football, all those skills I've learned in Jiu Jitsu and Muay Thai definitely translate. And yeah, I just want to be a dangerous man on the field and a dangerous man in that octagon, and just be an entertainer. I've always wanted to be an athlete, and I've been an athlete, and I want to keep it going as long as I can. But I think
Mhm.
that's something interesting about me. Not many players um, that I've met have that sort of training from a young age, and I feel like it definitely translates. Wrestling, I have a wrestling background, um, so yeah, I feel like all that stuff translates really well to the field. But it's definitely one of my passions is MMA. I love everything about it. I used to teach the kids classes, and I'd be up there all day long, just being a student of the game. And right now, I'm a student of the game of football, so I'm gonna focus on football as long as I can, and just excited for what the future has in store for me for sure.
Who in your family do you look up to and why?
Definitely my father, and like I said earlier, he put me in a position to succeed academically and athletically, putting me in a good neighborhood where I could stay out of trouble and absorb the knowledge of that school system. It's got one of the best school systems in all of Texas, and then just so happens to have one of the best football programs in Texas as well. And just being around good leaders and and smart people that got their life together. Just it's an inspiration of what you can become if you do the right things. And I have nobody to thank but my father and God for that, you know. And yeah, my father's he's a good man. He has a good heart, good Christian man, and very blessed that he instilled some of those um, moral attributes to me. And yeah, you know, he always puts his family first above everything, and it's God and then family, you know, and that's the way it needs to be. And you know, that's how I want to be with my kids one day. And he's definitely been an inspiration for a long time for me. You know, I remember
Mhm.
writing papers and elementary school, who's your hero? Who's your superhero? I always write my dad, my pops. He's the main man for me. You know, I currently live just me and him. And it's been me and him for a long time now, and he's my ride or die. He's my best friend, and I appreciate him more than anybody else in this world for sure.
Mhm. Did your dad play football?
Did he teach me football?
Like, did he go to college and play football in college?
No, he played professional rugby. Actually,
Oh, nice.
yeah, he played professional rugby in New York, and I think in Virginia as well. You know, it's kind of a overseas sport, but they got some good teams here in America, and I love the story. She used to tell me he used to knock somebody's block off on that field. You know, it's a different gridiron, but it's got its similarities. You know, he's a big guy, and glad he blessed me with some good size and frame myself. And yeah, and it's really just that spirit of, I want to say combat, but I don't want to say violence, but that's really what it is sometimes. You know, it's football's a violent sport, and I have a passion for it. You know, I like I like I like the pain, and I like inflicting the pain. It makes you feel alive, and football's a wonderful sport. You know, and I'm blessed to have the ability to play it as long as I've had, and I just want to continue playing football um, as long as I can. You know, and yeah, he doesn't know too much about football. You know, we watch the Cowboys every Sunday that they play. You know, Dallas Cowboys fans for sure. But he wasn't one of those dads where he was out there saying, "Hey, son, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing that." He's always left it to me like, "Hey, this is your world. Like you're in it. Like I set you up for success now. Do what you do." Like he ain't never put his 2 cents when it comes to football. It's always off the field things that I need him on. You know, and I'm just glad I have him for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he don't have no background in football specifically. No.
What makes you a unique player on the football field?
What makes me a unique player is the fact that I've got a lot of experience playing interior as well as defensive end, exterior player, and like an outside defensive end. I'll go anywhere from a six to type five, to three tech, two eye, even zero tech head up on the nose, and still be an impactful player on the defensive line. And, you know, I got lots of film from this past season making TFLs from the nose tackle position at 6'3", 265, playing nose tackle, you know.
Hmm.
And you don't see it often, but when you got that 300-pound defensive tackle going, doing his thing all game, he gonna get tired. And then they have me move in there, like from the end position to the nose, and I got that speed. Man, I'll beat that tackle on speed every time. You know, I specifically like the three tech position. You know, it's not too far inside, and I love using my speed on that interior guy because he doesn't see it often. He always gets those defensive tackles that are a little slow, you know, a little sluggish, and then he gets that defensive end to whip right by him. And it's like you go untouched sometimes, you know. And so yeah, I got versatility. I'd say that's what sets me apart is I can play on the outside as well as the inside as a smaller guy, you know, as a 6'3", 265 guy. I don't have to be no 300 pounds to put a guard on his tail.
Hmm. I know that you went to a big high school that has a big football program, and I wanted to know what your favorite memory was when you played for them.
My favorite memory was probably beating Longview. Uh, Longview was a hard nosed running team, and all week, I think it was Facebook. I don't know. I'm not too much on social media, but I think it was Facebook at the time. There's all these chats talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna run right through y'all's defense. Y'all's defense is y'all weak point, and me specifically, as well as my other defensive lineman I had on that line that year, we shut it down. We shut it down good, and they didn't. I forgot what the yard. It was a long time ago now, but that was my favorite game, and I think it was my best game I played in high school. And
Mhm.
they didn't get no type of running yards on us, and it was a close game, but we came out with the win. And like I said, I probably lost only two, maybe three games my whole high school career, and not a lot of people can say that. 2, 3 games in your high school career is not that many games. So
Mhm.
I enjoy being a part of that program, and how organized it was, and how disciplined the coaches made it for us. It was a very disciplined culture. Highland Park's got a lot of white boys on the team. Not the fastest, not the biggest players, but that discipline really takes you a long way when you're technically sound, and you're not making any dumb or rational mistakes, or irrational, I should say. Um, it really sets you apart from those other teams, and I wish I tried my best to implement some of that culture into college and be like, hey, coach, we should do this. Like, just that little extra thing to be a little bit more disciplined. And I'll get that opportunity for this upcoming football season at Mississippi Valley as a GA. I'm gonna
Mm.
implement some of that disciplinary stuff. It's the little things. But yeah, high school was amazing. It was an amazing experience playing with those boys, and that's the thing I love about football is those connections. They'll last you a lifetime. And yeah, I can't think of too many specific games, but we played on some big stages. We played in the AT&T Stadium, the Frisco Lone Star, the old Texas Ranger Stadium. That it's converted into a football field now. I think that's where the Dallas Renegades of the UFL play. So yeah, I played on some big stages in high school, and some high stake games against Frisco Lone Star and Timberview and whatever the teams were. It was a while ago, but
Mm.
yeah, it was an amazing experience for sure.
What does your future look like for you after this upcoming season?
Well, I just signed with Oregon Lightning, so our season starts here in the spring. Oregon Lightning is a professional arena team. What I like about this league is the commissioner of the league is Coach Jeff Fisher, who's got a lot of experience with the NFL, and this league has sent a lot of guys to the NFL, CFL, and UFL. It's really good at getting guys to that next level. And I'm excited to go in there and put that work in and put some people, turn some heads. Turn some heads my way, and show them I deserve to be playing on the big stage. And I'm excited that I can get that film here in the spring and be available in the fall, really, and
Mhm.
be ready to get picked up by whoever. I still have my pro day coming up, so there's still an opportunity to get signed by NFL team or UFL team or CFL team. But right now, my focus is that pro day, training for that pro day, getting some good measurables, some good numbers, and preparing for that AF1 season. And I'm really excited to get down there with those guys. I've never been that far from home, Oregon. I thought Mississippi's far from Texas. Oregon's way at the top. Way at the top of the
Mhm.
country. So it's very beautiful out there, and I'm excited to get closer to God and focus on football. And I feel like I'll have the opportunity to do that. It's so beautiful out there. I'm gonna find me a little spot on the mountain
Mhm.
and read that Bible when I'm not reading that playbook.
Mhm.
Just keep me locked in, keep me focused on the goal. And yeah, I'm very excited for what God has in store for me, and I truly believe I have a lot of football left to play.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely feel like you have a great potential in everything that the future holds for you. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck out in Oregon this upcoming spring. And I'll definitely be in touch with you throughout the season and years to come. And just I wish you nothing but the best.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you, Alex, for your time and what an amazing platform you have, and I appreciate you talking to me and getting to know these little things that most people don't know. The behind the
Mhm.
scenes is important, and it's good to get some of this stuff out and yeah, and I appreciate the platform. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed one.
Thank you, you too.
Bye bye.